All right, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim that's teaching the truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the believers and followers of Yahawashi, it's your brother Barak Bar. And I got some more edification regarding the Israelite foreigners, the Jews speaking, the Jews that spoke the Greek language, the Hellenists, okay? The Jews that adopted the Greek language in their origins. So this is the Compact Bible Dictionary, okay? This is one of the tools, one of the weapons we use to back us up with the scriptures. Created by Zondervan, published by Zondervan. It says, this is Antiochus, okay? Antiochus III the Great, 223 to 187 BC, king of Syria, okay, king of the north, for he that have an ear, let him hear, all right, and the sixth ruler of the Seleucid dynasty. Seleucus was one of the four generals that Alexander the Great passed his kingdom onto, okay, by his victory over the Egyptians. In 198 BC, Syria gained control of Palestine. He was decisively defeated by the Romans in 190 and later murdered by a mob while plundering a temple. Antiochus IV, Antiochus IV, it's also known as Antiochus the Epiphanes, son of Antiochus III, was eighth ruler of the Seleucid dynasty, 175 to 163 BC. In 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10, and chapter 6, verse 16, okay? In his attempt to Hellenize the Jews, he had a pig sacrifice on the altar in Jerusalem, forbade circumcision, and destroyed all the Old Testament books he could find. These outrages involved him in the Maccabean War, in which the Syrian armies were repeatedly defeated by the brilliant Judas Maccabees. Okay, now I want to go into the scriptures to show you the origin of the Hellenists, the origin of when the Jews started to keep the custom of the Greeks. This is the Apocrypha, another tool that we should have. Okay, this was inside of the Bible. All right, the first, the 1611 edition. This was inside after the Old Testament, before the New Testament, or you could get this separately. Okay. This is the first book of Maccabees, chapter 1. I'm just going to the point to show you the origin of the Hellenists, the origin of the Jews that kept the custom of the Greeks. Okay. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Remember this point. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judea, and they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh, unclean beasts, and unclean beasts. It says, and they should also leave children uncircumcised. Leave their children uncircumcised. Okay, which goes right into the New Testament when it talks about the circumcision and the uncircumcision. When the scriptures is referring to the uncircumcision in the New Testament, it's talking about these Israelites that kept the customs of the heathen nations. These Israelites that kept the custom in particular of the Greeks, which goes back into the history of Antiochus the Epiphanes. Okay. So it says, this is verse 43, yea, many also of the Israelite consented to his religion. Let's go to verse 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Profanation, okay? So what's going to happen to these children, okay, the sons upon their sons that keep customs of the heathen nations, but genealogy, but the national origin, they are the seed of Israel, okay? What's going to happen to them? They're going to think that they're Greeks, okay? They're going to think they're the sons of the empire that took over them, which was the Greeks or the Romans. They would start to call themselves Greeks and Romans. Why? Because they should also leave their children uncircumcised. So they wasn't keeping the laws of their forefathers. They wasn't keeping the customs of their forefathers, which is the Lord's statutes, commandments. They wasn't keeping the Passover, the high holy days, such as the feast of unleavened bread, the Day of Atonement. They wasn't keeping Hanukkah, and so on and so forth. Okay, the Day of Purim. They wasn't keeping these feasts of high holy days. So what? They was considered the uncircumcised. So it says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And that's exactly what happened. That's why they was calling themselves Greeks or Grecians. Okay? That's why they was calling themselves Hellenists. It says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he shall die. And the selfsame manner wrote he to the whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanded the cities of Judea to sacrifice city by city. And then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. All right. And this is the origins of the Hellenists, the Greeks, or the Grecians. Okay. These are Israelites that was in a Gentile state of mind. These are Israelites in the heathen state of mind. These are Israelites that was keeping the customs of the Greeks. So when you read about the Greeks or the Grecians, all right, in the New Testament, when it refers to salvation or believing upon Yahawashi, that is talking about Israelites in a Gentile state of mind. And it's talking about Israelite foreigners. You know, with that, I hope you brothers was edified. And if any of you brothers got comments or precepts, put it on the comment board. And with that, I say shalom.